All right, when the Colby belt arrives from Strike, it's going to arrive in two packagings, one with the outer belt and one with the inner belt, or inner padding. You have your outer belt where the belt has the strengthening plastic inside with the kidney cuts and allow the equipment to be attached and support the equipment without rolling the belt over. The pad is the key to this whole system. This pad is designed with spaced fabric stitched down at 1 inch gaps so that the belt can fold evenly around our waist. It also allows for breathability. The pad will come with at least 8 on a standard size medium and large belt keepers that are Velcro. You don't have to use all 8 keepers, but the keepers are designed so that it keeps the outer belt secure to the inner pad. Now, these paddings are just simply loop and hook. You can adjust it and move the keepers to wherever you want on the belt to accommodate all the equipment. The outer belt will come with a plastic buckle. The plastic buckle will probably outlast the belt. However, because the belt is designed to be open on both sides, you can upgrade these to 1.5 inch Cobra buckles. Now, most mistakes that are made when assembling this belt is people put their equipment on and they just simply take the pad or the belt and the pad and they just simply lay it on top of each other. What that will do is that will create pinch points in the padding system and have the weight sit unevenly. So the key to this is once the pieces of equipment are placed onto the belt, say a holster, once the pieces of equipment are assembled onto the belt, and depending on where you put it, it doesn't really matter as long as the special kidney cut areas of the belt should, like the name says, sit roughly around the kidney area, because this is the center portion of the rear. So you want to be able to adjust the two sides so that this portion here remains in the center of the belt, in the rear, once it's seated onto the pad. So you begin by taking the pad, and it should sit in this configuration with the shape facing down. The level portion will be on the top of the belt. And you start by simply taking the center portion, because you can see the kidney cut area here, right here. You take the center portion and you lay it in. And you're going to start from one side first. So we're going to go this side first. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this belt until it fits perfectly on this side. Now, I'm not going to worry about the keepers for now. Take this one side and I'm going to roll it. So the belt will want to sit in a circular pattern. Now, if you notice here, the Velcro attaches to the outer belt. So it's semi-secure. It helps you with aiding putting the belt together. But at the same time, that's going to also aid in keeping the belt from moving and sliding, even with the keepers on. So once your pieces of equipment, typically the heaviest pieces, which would be your holster or your mag pouch, would be somewhere near at the 4 and 7 o'clock position, 7 to 8 o'clock position. So when the belt's closed and everything's pressed down, you're not going to get any folding, pinching portions. Now, if you were to develop a fold such as that, then at this point, what you want to do is remove the padding and roll the outer belt even more. You want to get the fit so that there are no folds on the inner pad. You want a nice smooth. This is the key to keeping this belt as comfortable as possible. Once all the pieces of equipment are on, because of the 1-inch MOLLE that's on the padding, once all the pieces are on, you can move the keepers to where you feel where they will fill in with the equipment or where they look the best. Now, how far up above the belt do you want the pad? It's really up to you. Depending on where you like it and the appearance of it, as long as the Velcro makes full attachment with a hook and loop, you can have it up flush or you can have it centered. Now, when it comes to the shape, this rear cut portion serves a purpose. These shapes all serve a purpose. The purpose is to distribute more surface area over the area that's holding the most weight. The rear has an additional purpose. If you were to wear an inner belt on your pants that was a hook and loop with the hook facing out to attach to the pad, you don't need to worry about the belt moving around. But if you were to wear a slick belt or a belt with a hook and loop where the loops are facing out towards this pad, you're going to get movement with the belt as you sit and stand. This lower portion here allows for when you sit and the belt rises to when you stand, it's just low enough to where it's still covering your belt, and as you stand up straight, the belt will slide back down and you'll be in that comfortable position again. Now, just to demonstrate, I'm going to show a couple belts that are already in use. This belt here, slick run belt, a duty belt, has a Colby buckle on it. It's already been changed out. And this Colby buckle, you can order it online and you can upgrade the belt. The pad system, if you've noticed here, this belt has been used for over 4 years. Part of the testing process here, this belt still looks almost brand new other than some of the wear, the dirt and debris that's caught on from duty use. The Colby buckle does add a little more modern look to it. Here's another belt designed for duty with the equipment distributed all around. And if you notice here, there are certain portions of the Velcro that won't attach to the outer belt because they're pieces of equipment taking space up, hence the keepers. Around those areas, adding the keepers will keep as much Velcro contact or hook and loop contact as possible. This is with the standard plastic buckle, the way it would come. This belt here is centered more towards the top to be more flush. Again, that's preference only. Now, with the keepers, two very important spots should always be next to the buckle, because with the padding coming to the center portion in front of the body, you want the padding to have a space, or it can touch, but they're not to overlap. So with the center portion here, if you notice, there is a gap of about 2 inches. Now, the way this belt is designed to be adjustable, you want a maximum of about 4-inch gap before you move up to the next size. If it's any further than 4 inch, what happens is the padded portions to take on the heaviest portion or heaviest piece of equipment, the padded portion here will not be seated over the hip area, and the hip area is where you feel it the most. We're not built like a can or a cylinder. All right? Our bodies are oval or different shapes. So the kidney cuts allow for the flexibility so that once on, the belt will adjust better with the individual. Now, 4 inches being the max pad separation between the padding, or you can have it go all the way to meet. What you don't want to do is you don't want them to overlap. If they're overlapping, the belt's too large. You might want to downscale to the next smaller size. The two keepers on the end need to be on the end attaching next to the buckle in order to keep the ends of the pad secure against the outer belt. Okay, let's look at some of the features here. When it comes to the 1 inch spacing, the reason we went to 1 inch is to be compatible with MOLLE equipment, which is 1 inch apart. So if you find yourself with a MOLLE attached piece of equipment, they're going to be set apart so that it will fit into the MOLLE 1 inch spacing. One of the last features of this belt, if you were to have the belt and the padding and decide to use just the padding, you can take a standardized law enforcement duty belt, such as this one, where it has the Velcro design or hook and loop design. You can add this padding on the inside of this duty belt with a very slim profile to add to that extra padding over the heaviest pieces of equipment. Okay, so with the Colby belt, there's also an additional feature that you can add, or an accessory that you can add, is the Colby dump pouch. Now, the dump pouch itself, on the surface, just looks like a regular dump pouch with the extra Velcro on the outside here. Dump pouch features are just like a regular dump pouch. You can roll it up while it's on your belt, and it can be nice and secure. But the one feature about this Colby pouch is that it allows for the addition of magazine cards. And what I mean by magazine cards is you can have shotgun shells, or you can have a 2 rifle magazine card. With the magazine card insert, you can take shotgun shells on the magazine card, lay them in on the body side, and they won't come out, and they'll stay in position for the support hand to come down and remove each round for the speed reload. Now let's say you're not going to take out a shotgun and you're going to take out a rifle. Well, those magazine cards should be easily removed and you take a 2 rifle magazine card, insert it to the very bottom, simply give it a slight push on the body side, and it will hold 2 AR mags securely against the body side, where the support hand can simply come down, grab the magazine, pull it out for the reload. You can easily reinsert once you're in training and you reload. But more importantly, it's still a dump pouch. You can take the magazine, empty magazine if you choose not to drop it on the deck and leave it. You can take a half loaded magazine or a tactical reload, and you simply toss the magazine into the pouch. It's still a dump pouch. The pouch still serves the main purpose that it's there for, but it also has the ability to hold magazines and shotgun rounds where the spacing is very limited on your tac vest or your kit. Because this is a dump pouch, it's still a dump pouch, you can move it on whatever side of the body, even the rear, makes loading much more difficult. That's your support side. With the special 1 inch MOLLE attachments or spacing inside here, what you can do is, depending on how heavy your belt is, you can also add suspenders. And you can add the suspenders anywhere on the belt that would make the belt more comfortable and take the weight off of your hips even more. Now here's the key. You notice here, not one piece of equipment is on the inner side of the pad. Nothing touches the body but the pad. This allows for no points against the body where the weight can pinch in. So any attachments being made to this belt is going to be made to the outer belt. With the Colby dump pouch, you can run the loops in between the molly and the outer belt, which also aids in keeping the two pieces together while the outer belt still supporting the weight and not allowing the pad to move at all. Instead of having the keeper portions looped over with the opening on the outside, which over time, pieces of equipment, your hand, anything that touches it can start rolling up the corners. It's a nice idea to take the keeper and pull it. And you can do this either up or down to where when you flap over the keeper, the inner portion of the keeper, the opening, stays against the inner portion. This way it's nice and smooth on the outside and has no chance of snagging and eventually wearing out your keepers. Even though these are just simply hook and loop keepers, they will last as long as the belt if they're positioned in the right place.